I couldn't hear you earlier, bro. That's the reason why I grabbed the mic because I like that song. Who's bad? Who's bad?
Well, that
It's gonna
last
be
one was for
starting.
Jordan Neely because he dressed more to the Bad album, and he's dead as a result. And Jordan Neely is special when it comes down to Michael Jordan Jackson because he's a Michael Jackson he was a Michael Jackson impersonator in between being homeless, in between whatever other issues that he had. And it's crazy because Michael Jackson could have been Jordan Neely, if not worse, um, had he not been taken out of the situation, the poverty, I should say, that he was in. And that's all credited to the third most hated man in the world, Joseph Jackson. So I got a late start. I know I played some long songs. I did it this time because I was waiting on Chad, and Chad is going to be a minute, but he is coming through, and this is going to be the end, supposedly, hopefully, of this is going to be the end of me, the host of Wrestling with Racism, HBK 400. Uh, versus PeckerTom Ron. Ronald, mentally untouchable, Ronnie Falcon Jr., whatever he liked to be called. Just to give y'all a little background, I don't know where this cat came from about a year ago, but he started stalking my shit. Y'all see what I say on Twitter and shit like that. And, people take it to hurt or whatnot. And most of the time, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I mean, I say what's on my mind. Um, But sometimes I may take it a little, over or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you gonna do? But Ronald tends to take it to hurt. Um, and so he has been interacting with me over the last year. Uh, brought him on to wrestling with racism. We had a respectable conversation. The very first conversation was mainly about AEW. And I explained my position. I figured it's clear as day. You know what I'm saying? And it was undeniable. He gave me some pushback on certain things and I, put it back in its place and shit. And, it's still, but I thought that we had a handshake agreement to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that he did acknowledge some things that I was right about. Those things that he acknowledged that I was right about. When you look at this several months later, it has declined. Nothing has gotten better. Um, Certainly after that initial space, I mean, this motherfucker just all out then cooned it up on me. That's my view of it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ronald is not a coon. Like I said, trying to have a conversation with this person, uh, yeah, is not easy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very easy to conversate um, with white folk, despite what Ronald may think. Matter of fact, Ronald, just to assure you, I may interact with more white folk in person than you do. I'm not out here arguing with nobody every goddamn day. I'm not out here fighting with nobody every goddamn day. I don't go home with bad feelings for anyone in my day to day that I can't quickly get over. I don't know what the fuck you think this is. I don't have a disdain for white folk. Matter of fact, most of the time that I'm speaking of a system of white supremacy. The only way they could obtain that is via anti-blackness. These are things that he can't seem to understand. And out of several spaces that we have had, the only thing that Ronald could do is continue to point fingers based off of what he sees on the tweets. Based off of what he see on the tweets. You're a racist, you're a racist, you're a racist. You're a racist. You're a racist. And in his instance, what he would say is, I am racist. 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 Because for some reason, he can't even say R words correctly. His name is not Ronnie, it's Ronnie, unless he slow it down. If he talk real slow. But his conversation started becoming more and more and more disrespectful to the point to where what can I do? I'll have fun with it. I'll troll with your ass with the best stuff. And I could do that if I got that type of time. And I will give you that type of time. I have given you more headaches than you ever thought that you have given me. I could tell you that shit. Most of the time, I'm laughing. Anyone who I play Ronald PeckerTom Ron back to, they can't believe I'm actually talking to this fucking idiot. No adult in real time that is not fucking retarded do not act like Ronald. Now, Ronald, I'm not going to get into putting you down because that's not what this is about. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to say whatever it is that you want to say against me. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to let you get all that shit out. Because when we have this conversation, it's going to actually be a conversation. And if you don't want to have a civilized conversation, then you're going to get the fuck out. And I got a whole wrestling show planned for the day. So you're not stopping my shit. By the way, welcome to Rasslin with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. If you are not subscribed and you are an American Negro, be sure to subscribe and check out the message to the grassroots as we prepare for the new project 2025. Owner, you just got kicked the fuck down. This nigga, man, come on, man. God damn. Uh, when you are frightened and confused, which way will you choose? And all that will be laid out when we get prepared for my very own speech, America Prevents. That's going to be laid out in the future. So just be prepared for it. Sad is going to be the moderator. Okay. In a minute, he gonna be the moderator. Because Chad is going to be more neutral. Chad is going to make sure that this conversation go exactly the way that it's supposed to go. I don't intend on owner, you gotta come back up right quick. Um, I don't intend on um, being uncivilized. I don't intend on trolling you. I don't intend on going for your bullshit. I'm just gonna dismiss you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to get all of your shit out. Call me racist. You could say whatever the fuck you want about these tweets that you see, these threats that you claim that I'm making. You could call me Rio 100 times. Which, by the way, when you call into a radio show, who the fuck uses their real name? I'm Rio from Ohio when I talk to Bubba Ray Dudley. But if you want to call me, and this is for programming sake, if you want to call me Rio throughout my this time, you can. I just want to let my people know that that's what he's referring to. You could talk about how I abuse my children. You could talk about how I abuse my wife. You could talk about whatever other accusations you got against me, not included, I mean, including but not limited to how racist I am. Um, get all that shit out the way and take as much time as you need. But when it's time to have this conversation, Ronald, we're not gonna go for no type of childish shit. You're gonna get the fuck out. And I want y'all to know this because I'm predicting this. I'm predicting this. It's going to go that route. He's going to choose to leave once he get back into a corner. Once I ask certain questions that he can't answer, He's going to start going off into that childish shit. I'm calling this right now. I got 100 on it right now. To anybody that want to bet me otherwise, I guarantee you he's not going to be able to have this conversation. I'm not going to deflect from anything. I'm not going to deny any of your questions. I'm going to answer your questions with true honesty. If I'm not sure to an answer, I will let you know. Um, and before we get started, Negro, this is going to be a one-on-one conversation, but I know that you got a few things that you want to let out, so you could come on up real quick.
No, it's more like a conversation. Could it be like a 2 minute for each one? Because like I understand that you want to let him get out all his talking points, but it should be clear and concise,
Negro,
and it should
Negro,
be like a two or
Negro.
yeah.
I'm gonna let this motherfucker get it all out and from the get go, because when it comes time to it, I mean, I want to actually have a conversation with this person, and I don't want him to go through none of the shit that he's about to go through over the next few minutes. I'm going to give him the necessary time, point fingers and do or say whatever the fuck you want to. And when it comes time to asking questions, Ronald, you can ask me anything that you want to, but you take the time to point your fingers and tell me about myself. As much time as you need to, but do try to be concise. Don't start repeating yourself. I think that's what Negro was trying to lead to. Don't start making the cycle of saying you're racist 100 times. We could get it after the first. All right. Real quick, and Negro, this is going to be a one-on-one conversation. I am going to open the floor. In two events, I'm going to open the floor. In two events. One, and Negro, because I already know your ass, so I'm about to drop you down the listener, because I know once this motherfucker open his mouth, you're going to go in. I want this motherfucker to be comfortable and relaxed. Just, just gonna be a one-on-one conversation. It's a year-long, thing. And right after this, because this blocking shit got it to where you could just go stalk my shit and just keep putting my name up and everything. Everybody type my thing in, nine crackers at all in his shit, and just look at that shit. It's fucking ridiculous. But this is him, and this is his life now, wrestling with racism. But hopefully that shit could stop, Ronald. Like, you got to move on after this. If you're not going to join the team, move on. All right. Chad, what's up? Are you available?
What's going? Yeah, I'm available right now. I'm on the road, but you can
Yeah, I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Can everybody else hear?
Okay.
All right. So Chad is going to be the moderator. Chad is more neutral on everything. He's more level-headed. And Chad won't even hesitate to put me in my fucking place. So what's gonna happen is, if we're not going to do no over talking, we're not going to get to the point to where we're bickering back and forth and yelling at each other. And when it gets to that point, Chad, you can mute me, you can mute Ronald. Uh, when you feel like it's getting out of control, this is going to be 100% completely at your discretion. Because I know that you have the common sense to not let shit go on too far. We could get a little loose, but you know what time when to handle your business, right? Um,
Yeah, 100. I
yeah,
got you.
not a lot of cussing, and it shouldn't be personal. Like I said, I'm gonna give Ronald the first however long he need to get personal. So don't cut him off right here. But if it does get to that, just you could be able to control that. The types of questions that I may have for him, it could get a little heat. So just you don't have to be off rip. Just handle that whenever it's
Right.
time. Um,
Okay.
do you have anything that you want to say before we get started?
No, not too much. I really want both of y'all to go in, but more so Ronald. I'm sure he has a lot to say, so I'm gonna give him the floor off rip.
Negro, I'm gonna drop
But
you
we're gonna
down,
have a
man,
little
because I
bit of
already know
decorum
your
in.
ass about to come in and say some bullshit. But just stick around, man. We gonna get you back.
All right. I mean, let's get a brother
No,
a chance. Let's hear him
I
out.
said, Negro. All right, so,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
um, all right, man, man, I already know how this shit about to go, but we're gonna try it out one more time. Right?
Okay.
Welcome to Rasslin with Racism. Barry, what's up? I see you.
Go ahead,
What's up?
Ronald.
You want to have a civilized conversation. How can I do that when you haven't been civilized for the past year in the first place? Well, for the past year, you have not ever once been civilized. Other than from getting my name wrong countless times and assuming a lot of shit about me, which I could give a fuck about what you say about me, because I know at the end of the day it's not true. I've had tried to have a civil conversation with you. The first time we spoke in that very first space, you said you talked about that you supported Swerve Strickland at that time. I remember that when at All In, you made a tweet saying that you had supported Swerve Strickland. But how you go turn around about that and say you supported him when you were the first motherfucker to critique and condemn him for quote unquote being a token black man in AEW? You don't switch up like that. You as a respectable black man, or so I thought you were, don't do shit like that. All of y'all niggas should know that shit. I'm ashamed of y'all niggas. For a year now, you've had this one-sided obsession beef with me because of the shit that I've called you out for constantly over and over again. You already know what you are at heart. I don't have to say that you're racist. I know you are. And a lot of people know it too. Especially the constant disrespect you've shown to other people besides black people on this app. And I'm not even just talking about wrestling either. You have constantly put down other black people, whether they're non-American or they're mixed blood, which what quite frankly isn't none of your business. You out here on this app digging other people's background and ethnicities and families, stalking their fucking pictures of their families, mine included, because you feel the need to win some points for the black community. That's how you operate. That's how black people operate. If it is, I'm ashamed of y'all motherfuckers. I'm mostly ashamed of black knights tolerating this bullshit, for one thing. All because I've constantly called you out and put you in your place every turn, and you feel the need to do all this shit. You feel the need to act like a child. You feel the need to act like an animal, the very same animal that you accuse non-black people of treating you like. That's your choice. You chose to be the animal, Leo, or whatever the fuck your name is that ends with the O. That was your choice. Just like it was Jordan Neely's choice to get on that subway and start threatening and screaming to kill people, and Daniel Penny put a stop to that shit. Do I feel bad for the brother that he died? Yes, because that means more black people, another black human being has died. But that was his fault. That was his choice to threaten to kill people on that subway. And I have a feeling that you would have preferred that other people would have died at the hands of Jordan Neely. You claim that I condoned the deaths of Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Jalen Warland, Michael Brown, and all those other black people that have died. And the fact that y'all motherfuckers believe him and even thinking that I condone that and thinking that I'm an anti-black, me, a proud fucking black man? How fucking dare you? I ask you that right now. How fucking dare you? Who the fuck are you? All of a sudden, what? Did Malcolm X and Martin Spear just come down to you and say, oh, Rio, you are now the leader of the black community. You speak for the entirety of the black community. Just like you somehow magically, delusionally reprimanded yourself as the black leader of the internet wrestling community, which we all know is bullshit.
It really is. That's bullshit.
So, and not to mention, so you keep saying, you keep having this delusion that you didn't make threats, that these things you've made against like Triple H and Undertaker and Tony Khan and so on and so forth, you claim they're not threats. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but using someone's family picture is not is exactly, it's exactly what that is. If that's not a threat, then what is it? What, you think it's pushing the envelope? You think it's getting their attention? No. Imagine waking up using someone's family picture, threatening their loved ones, and thinking it's a flex. What that is a goddamn bitch move. And you only make us black people worse in result. You make us look even more fucking worse in the eyes of everyone as a result of your fucking actions. That's on you. Quite frankly, like I've tried this with you. You claim you love black people. You claim this. I have yet to see it. I have yet to see it because I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Not with you. Not with a grifting terrorist like you. You have constantly, first off, you condemned and shamed Shad Gaspard, a fellow black man, a former wrestler. You blamed him for marrying a white woman and having a white child when you know for a goddamn fact that he risked his life to save his son. And your first action is to conjure the blame to his family? A wife who lost her husband, a son who lost his father, and then what do you say? You say, oh, I don't give a fuck if that child floated away. I can't even believe the fact that that shit came out of your mouth. I am surprised that you even have kids at this point. God forbid. God forbid what the fuck you're teaching your kids. God for fucking bid. The support you had for Jade Cargill when she was over at AEW, that quickly evaporated when you found out that her ethnicity was Jamaican, was it? All of a sudden now it's, oh, now she's going to take the spotlight from Bianca Belair and other black Americans. Somebody deport Jade Cargill right now. I don't even want to know how you feel about niggas like Obafemi and so on and so forth about any other black wrestler that's not American.
You damn sure about to find out.
That's the problem right there, bro. That's the problem right there. You refuse to see that black people, American or non-American, are all family. That's your fucking problem. And what even pisses me off is that respectable black men in this app, some I'm having a hard time even dealing with right now or looking at the same way again. You motherfuckers use your skin tone and your prejudice as an excuse to think that you are owed something. You keep going on every day about this. Woe is me because I'm black bullshit. Stop using your skin tone as a fucking excuse. Because at the end of the day, when you say that we're black and we are owed something and we want reparations and all this and that, you're acting no fucking better than the fucking races that we have to fucking deal with. And maybe I didn't go through the same shit as many of you in this set. I've only encountered like what? I've only encountered like 2 racist people. A rare chance in my life. Only 2 racist people that I've ever encountered. That's it. I don't know what the fuck any of y'all have gone through to the extreme. So I'll never know. I can't speak on that. But for it's just this shit that pisses me off. All of you are acting no better than they are. Especially you, Leo. You call for the deaths of people. You call for the deaths of people that you don't know, but you'll call for their death anyway. You have a strange obsession with wanting white children dead. When Bianca Ellis stabbed that child, a 3-year-old, you said that he deserved it because you had this conspiracy to think that his mother was fucking with Bianca Ellis, was calling her slurs, I asked you, where's your proof? And you produced nothing. I asked you, where was the proof of Tony Khan, a lie that you conjured up, saying that he raped Jade Cargill? You produced nothing. I asked you proof of Triple H being racist to black wrestlers today, and you've produced nothing. I've even asked you time and time again, and I've said it before, if black wrestlers are winning, you think it's pandering. If black wrestlers are losing, it's racism. Which is it? You can't have it both ways. You contradict yourself every goddamn time. And then you constantly, for some insane reason, you have the nerve to try to label Ricky Starks, Mercedes Moné, the acclaimed AR Fox, and other wrestlers, other people that have biracial blood in them, that knows what it's like to be in both places of white and black. But you're so sure of yourself that Mercedes and all and so on are disrespectful to the black community because you think that they don't know what's going on. So let me ask you, say Mercedes Moné was raised on
Don't
white
misquote me,
values by her
Ronald.
white
I
mother.
hate to cut in, but you're not about to misquote me. That is untrue. But go ahead.
Buddy, I've never misquoted you. I don't have to. You do that yourself every time. You do that every goddamn time. And you don't even see it, or you don't want to see it because activists or so-called activists like yourself don't open your eyes or grasp your brains to reality. You're not fixed on reality. You see what you want to see because you're that delusional, you're that narcissistic. That's your problem. That's always been your problem. I'm willing to bet. And you have the nerve, this whole fucking PeckerTom Ron, this white sympathizer, this handkerchief head, or whatever fucking unique name of Uncle Tom that you niggas have. Have you idiots not realized that you're using the phrase Uncle Tom wrong to begin with? So I'm the bad guy if I treat anybody
I
that's
have
non-black
never
or
called
black.
anyone to Uncle Tom a day in my life, not even by mistake.
Really, really. Man, just say what you want to say.
Are you finished so we can get started? You don't have anything to say about your family pictures or nothing? I don't want to hear that. All right, so I do
Okay.
want to say this, Chad, before I'm gonna add an extra incentive. Ronald,
Go ahead, brother.
Ronald, I'm gonna add an extra incentive. If we could get past this conversation without you doing what you do, and you know what you do, without you doing that, then I will remove all of those thumbnails from YouTube, every single one of them, and I will formally apologize for using those and whitewashing those children, and I will retract my statement about you choking that child, and I will recognize that you just don't know how to hold. Now, that's only if we can get through this without you deflecting, without you yelling, without you over talking, without you running, without you deflecting and protecting the image of white supremacy, which you then via anti-blackness, which you do. If you are not aware of, if you're not familiar or you don't know the, about the question that I asked you, then you could just say that. I have no problem telling you the same. And I will uphold those same standards. And the bearded one is going to be sure that I'll uphold those standards. So before we ultimately get started, are you 100% finished? Is this everything that you wanted to say throughout the entire year? What are you there? 'Cause I don't want to repeat myself.
His mic is off.
It is. You can unmute if you not aware. Okay. Chad, go ahead. Let's get started real quick.
Okay. So this has been going on for a year. I did not know that. There's a lot of disagreements on his side. You said earlier that he misquote you. Could you elaborate on that, HBK?
For the premises of certain things, he could be correct. I could see where there could be a misunderstanding. And like I said, this has been a full year that of shit that he got bookmarked. Uh, screenshot it or whatever. And he's possibly mixing certain things up. I forgot uh, what he specifically misquoted me on, but it is certain things that he may misquote me on or may have had a misunderstanding. And as we go along, I can correct him on that. I
Okay.
did forget specifically what it was. Also, if to chat, I want you to look up anyone in the comment section that has any question for either me or PeckerTom Ron. Y'all could post it in the comment section and chat. If you continue to look out for that, you could ask those questions in between.
Okay, I got you.
Negro got 20 questions, and you got the answer to all those, Ronald. Or at the end too. Also, don't have too many questions because if it does make it to the end, because we don't want to overwhelm them, then we can bring everyone else up and they can ask either of us any question as well. Uh,
Okay.
Hopefully, this would remain civilized, though. I intend on upholding to those standards.
Yeah, so far so good.
Ronald, are you
Ronald,
there?
Are you still here, brother?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just
By the
fucking
way, one more
disgusted.
thing. Do you have anyone that you want to bring up as well?
I don't need nobody up here.
Queen, she doesn't want to come up.
I'm just fucking disgusted with with the way you keep doing shit like this, bro. Like this should have not been this long to have this kept up. It really shouldn't have, but you kept it going anyway.
It kept it going. Like I said, y'all could type my name, my handle in his search box, and you could see tons of shit with no response. Uh,
Because I called them out every time.
mhm. So let's start with this. You called me racist, right? Um, can you specify how I'm racist? Me personally.
Let me guess. You're going to say that you're not racist because you don't have power and that it takes killing other people, especially actually people of color, to be racist. Is that what you're going with? Is
Why
that
don't
the
you
thing you're
tell
gonna
me
go
and
with?
then we can find out on the way.
Buddy, look at your tweets. Look at your tweets. Recently, not too long. Matter of fact, this started a year ago. Matter of fact,
Well, no,
this happened a year
you
ago.
could
Man,
you got free use of the jumbotron too.
well, you don't remember the tweets that you made about a child,
By the
another
way, Ronald,
child
I do
named.
need to say something. I keep forgetting. One more thing. This is the last rule. Ronald, you're talking to an audience too. So and I'm talking about beyond the people that's on this space too. So people won't know what you're talking about. So you're going to need to get specific. On
Well,
top of
people are gonna
you
know what I'm
getting,
talking about.
excuse me,
People are gonna know what I'm talking about
right? So
because
you
I'm getting
just
to
get
that.
specific. Okay, go ahead. You could use the
You
jumbotron, you could use the comment section, and you could, but don't act like you're talking to me just one on one. Describe the
except I have
situations you're
to.
talking about.
Except I have to because you're the loudest person in this room on this godforsaken app.
I am the host.
But you are the loudest, bro. You're the loudest black racist, which God forbid, I never thought I'd meet the world's biggest black racist on this app. Ain't that something?
So tell the people
Like
how I'm
you
racist
mean
to
to
you.
tell me you don't make tweets of wanting to threaten white people or any other people that are like non-black? For example,
Thank you.
you may, for example, last year, a kid named Tushi had killed himself. A white kid had killed himself because he was being bullied.
Mhm.
You made the tweet thinking that his parents missed him because they were quote unquote fucking him or molesting him. Because for some strange reason you have this fetish of picturing white children in that predicament or any other child, which is disgusting. Like
Ronald,
that
do
is
you check?
disgusting.
Do you go along with crime statistics, right?
Say again.
The crime statistics that America presents to you. Do you go along? You believe those crime statistics?
I don't check statistics.
Okay, so if a white couple, because you came up with some Jordan Neely shit, and trust me, we're going to get into that. You came up with some Jordan Neely statistics that could or could not be true, right? You had no issue using that to try to make some type of point. So what are you talking about, man?
In terms of Jordan Neely,
Yes.
I only posted that tweet because for some reason everyone has this thing where they're trying to make Jordan Neely as if like that no one had like sympathy or something like. First of all, and I
We're gonna
get the
get into
brother
Jordan Neely. I
died.
needed you to answer the question specifically.
I'm getting there.
No,
First of
I'm
all, there
talking
you go
about these
again.
stats because you're talking about what I said about the children. We got to stay in context, Ronald. Do you
But
or do you not go against what the stats is presented to you? When white folk
what
presents you stats, do you follow those stats and believe it to be
what
true?
stats, bro? I don't check any fucking stats.
Okay,
What
well, you
stats?
need to know this. White folk have a serious problem within their community, and it's sexual crimes, specifically against children. And the system of white supremacy via anti-blackness protects most of them. And so the rates that their statistics are very high in America. And you better believe with most of them being protected is much higher than reported.
And how would you assume that? How would you assume that Tuji's parents were doing that to him? How would you assume if you don't know? That's
Based
the
off of those statistics.
that's your problem, man. You
Based
assume
off of
too
those
much.
statistics. Just like white folk could tell me about murders in the black community, they bring out statistics. I'm supposed to believe those statistics, right? So more than likely, yes, those white parents were fucking that white child, and that's why he
But
killed
how would
himself.
you
Why
know?
would a
How
child
would
want
you
to think about
know?
it? Think about it. Why would a child? How old was that child? I
How
mean,
old
because
was
you want to sit up here and talk about possibilities. Was it bills that
you?
he was
You
worried
talk
about?
about possibilities.
Was it a
You talk
possibility
about
of him
possibilities.
losing the home or, losing a career or what other possibilities could a child have for killing himself?
Being bullied if you paid attention to that tweet.
If you got loving parents, then that bullying shit wouldn't mean shit, would it? Maybe he
But
was
no, no,
being
no.
bullied
See,
at
see, there
home
you
too.
go.
You
There
can't
you
act
go
like
with
it's
the
not a
assumption.
possibility, Ronald.
That's
And
your
that's another
problem.
thing.
You assume too much.
I need you to notice a difference between what the tweets that you see and the conversations in which I
Really,
have in person. It is much different, Ronald. You got to take a
really,
gimmick for what it is.
really
How about that?
different. That's your problem, bro.
That's
You
my problem.
assume too much. You assume the worst
You don't even
way
know
too
my
much
name, and
and
you telling me
way
what
too
my problem
quickly.
is.
How
Ain't
would
that a
you know?
bitch?
How would you know though? How would you know? Were you there when that boy
No,
killed
I
himself?
wasn't, Ronald, and I
Were
took
you
a
were you
wild
there?
guess.
Were you
And I
there with
took a
his parents?
wild guess, Ronald.
Yeah, that's your problem. You took a wild guess. You
Hmm.
guessed. Therefore,
So
you
who did I
assume.
harm? Who did I harm economically, socially, or politically by taking that guess? I'm pretty sure more than likely that child's parents
Okay,
or
so if
anyone
okay,
affiliated with them
so
never
if
seen
white
that
people
tweet
have
or
that
give a fuck
statistic of
about it.
sexual crimes, what is it in the statistics of blacks doing that?
Much
You can
lower
tell me.
than whites, but it does happen. Yes, it does happen.
Ah, so it does happen.
Yes, it does.
So then why try to act like it doesn't happen? Hmm?
I've never said that it didn't.
Oh, are you sure? Because you have never mentioned it once before in your spaces.
You know, Ronald,
Wait, what?
how the fuck do you know? I'm on 100
Took a while.
goddamn
Took a
spaces a
wild guess.
week. What the fuck
Took
are
a
you talking
wild
about,
guess.
Ronald?
Took a wild guess. Remember?
Remember what? Be specific. Come on.
I just said it. I took a wild guess, like you did.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's what's up. So, and you're talking to the man, so I could tell you that you're wrong. So
Really?
that's the difference. The people, the white folk that you're talking about is not here. So they can't answer to whether they was fucking their child that killed
Ah,
themselves or not.
so there you go. So there you go. They can't answer it. Just like also you came up with this conspiracy that Owen Hart committed suicide and just jumped off, and he's not here to answer or defend himself because
No,
you
see,
just
Ronald,
naturally assume that.
here's the thing. I bring up possibilities, and listen,
Nope.
Owen Hart.
But
What
mm-mm.
you are you
It,
finished or
nope, not yet. I'm just
go
getting
ahead? My
started
bad.
here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
If you claim to know that you've watched wrestling back when the Attitude Era, right?
Cool.
Then
Much more
why
than I
would you
watch it now.
if you knew the news of what happened in Owen's tragedy, which is exactly what it was, an accident and a tragedy,
Excuse me.
why would you come to all these years
My bad. Let
now
me
when
let
you
you
know
finish.
it was exactly a tragedy, not a suicide attempt?
Suicide can be tragic.
You say suicides can be tragic, and yet
Yes.
you sit
Have you?
there
Do you
and
know anyone
still
that? Do you know
mock the
anyone
death
personally
of
that
a
committed
white child
suicide?
that killed himself.
I didn't mock his death. I brought up a possibility.
You,
It's a
oh
big
boy.
difference.
Oh boy, you say you didn't mock her. Okay. I'm glad you gave
What
me
did I
use of the
send a
Jumbotron
meme
because
of him
apparently
hanging
I'm gonna
from
have to show
something?
you because apparently I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
show
show
you
me.
and
Yes,
educate.
show me. Yes,
I'm
thank
gonna
you. You're
educate
talking
you.
to an audience, and plus, you're talking about something from a year ago. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm only going off your description. Use the jumbotron, Ronald. Do you know how to use that? If not, put it in the
Oh,
comment section. And owner, if you
very,
can,
yes,
put the
very well.
shit in the
Yes, I know very
jumbotron.
well. Yes, my brain is expanded beyond that. It's way beyond yours. Congratulations. Thank you for showing me where to use the Jumbotron.
You do got a big
Congratulations.
ass
Good
head, though,
job.
dummy. That
Good
motherfucker,
job.
big ass
I'm gonna
head
have
and
to
the empty
just
ass one. That motherfucker empty too.
All right. I'm gonna have to jump in here real quick, okay? I understand we're getting real passionate right now, but we gotta have some decorum in here. We're talking over each other a little bit too much, mostly from you, Ronald. So I want you to back off of that, all right? That makes for bad radio. Nobody's gonna understand you or get to your point when you're having a shouting match with each other. That's not how grown men conduct each other when they're trying to make a point. So I want y'all to chill back, both of y'all, HBK, you and Ronald, and give each other some time to respond to what you're talking about. And if you have a point to make, Ronald, go ahead and use that jumbotron. All of these tools are here for your disposal. Okay. All right. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I do believe that we do
go
need.
ahead. Go ahead. Let y'all can talk. Go ahead. I'm just getting to where it's going. I'm gonna
I
get the
do
proof. I
believe
got it.
that
I got
yeah,
it.
you got it. I do believe that we need to move on from that particular subject. But I do want to say that when I bring up stuff, and most of us in here are wrestling fans, and we know the Owen Hurt situation, but do we truly know the Owen Hurt situation? Owen Hurt was up there by himself. I'm just bringing the possibility that Owen Hurt could have jumped on this. Um, I mean, he could have. Owen Hurt has done this not a couple of times throughout that month alone. Uh, we know that he was frustrated with things in his life and then per professional life. He may have been frustrated with things in his personal life as well. Suicide is a thing that a lot of people don't get answers for, and that's a hell of an opportunity to do it. Uh, I just brought up the possibility. First of all, white folk can sit up here and Ronald can sit up here and call me as racist as they want to, but Owen Hart was one of my
Well,
favorite entertainers. Uh, he really was. I look at him as an entertainer, and that's what he did. And it's unfortunate
then
that
why
no
did you call
matter
him a
how he
coward?
died, it's unfortunate that he died. I wish that he was still here, but he's not, and so I moved on.
Then why did you call him a coward?
If he committed suicide, that is a cowardly act. That's
You,
tragic
yeah,
as it could
see,
be.
you're
It's
double
a
standarding
coward
yourself
act.
once
I
again. You
mean,
said you
no, I mean,
respected.
hey, listen, I know people that committed suicide. My
You
uncle
said you
was one of them,
respected
and
him,
I
but
could
you're
put
calling
this
him a
on
coward.
public record, and I say that that's a cowardly act from anyone that does it.
Which is it, bro? You either respect him or he's a coward. Make it make sense. You can't have it
Both. I
both
mean, I can
ways.
respect the man that turned
No,
into a
no, you
coward. I
don't.
can
No,
respect the man for what he's done,
no,
but
that's
it's
not
still
gonna
a
make sense.
cowardly act. It is the same thing, Ronald.
That does not
It
make sense.
is. It doesn't. I mean,
No,
because you respected Chris
I don't.
Benoit
I don't.
at a
I don't
hold
go
on, wait a
saying
minute. You respected Chris Benoit to a certain point, and then he did what he did, and you lost
as a
respect for
wrestler,
that. Is
yes.
that hypocrisy? Okay, then. So what you talking about?
As a wrestler,
That's the
yes.
same
After
thing with
what
Owen
he
Hart. I
did,
respected him
after
for.
what he did, fuck all that. After what he did to his
And
own family,
so
which
after
which
what,
you
and
which you credit him for, by the way, saying that you miss him
I do.
and
Chris Benoit was, oh my God, I
also
didn't think you was
disrespecting
gonna
his
bring him up
family.
so soon. I'm sorry.
Since you
Excuse
want
me.
to go there, let's talk about it. You also said that you miss Chris Benoit because he put over black wrestlers, and also also disrespecting his wife and his son that
I
he
don't think I
killed,
did.
which you applauded.
I don't think that I did. I'm gonna put that up so y'all could probably check that out later if you
Okay,
didn't. I gave a wonderful tribute to Chris
this is
Benoit.
why I can't deal with niggas like this, bro. This
I'm
is
not.
why I can't deal with niggas like this.
I'm not a
They'll
nigga.
lie through their teeth every time. And he wants me to have a civil conversation when he's lying like this.
Ronald, you was on this particular tribute show with me. This is one of our first interactions. Didn't you think that that was a wonderful tribute to Chris Benoit?
Nigga, you did not have a tribute to Chris Benoit.
I played a gospel song going away
No,
for him and
that is
all that
not a
shit. That
tribute.
is
That is
nobody
not a
ever
tribute.
gave him that type of love and
That is
respect.
you
Let
disrespecting
me tell you something. Let me tell you
that is
something.
you
It's not.
disrespecting
It's
the
Ronald.
tragedy of what went on in that household. Fuck that.
It's not. I don't overlook that. Chris Benoit did exactly what I expected him to do. It's unfortunate, and I'm pissed at Chris
You
Benoit.
didn't
To be
expect
honest
shit.
with you,
Stop saying that shit. You
I'm
didn't expect shit.
I'm pissed at Chris Benoit for doing that because I really honestly wanted to know how that McMahon storyline was going to conclude or
See,
continue or what.
you pissed
That
at him
is
for a story because you wanted
no,
the
because that
storyline to
I mean,
go. And
yes, that means even Bruce Pritchard. You would think
uh,
that no, I mean, let's be real, Ronald. You would think that all the episodes that Bruce Pritchard did with that fat ass white
oh my
man, that he would
god,
have
this
told
guy.
what was going to happen, and he didn't even have the decency to do that. I would,
Remind me,
but
Beard.
so
How
I
can
would
y'all
probably
respect this guy? Please
I'm
tell me
just
how can y'all
saying,
respect
Chris
this guy,
Benoit
man?
is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Nobody can deny that. And nobody can deny. And brothers, try to hear this. Chris Benoit put over more black American wrestlers than anybody in
Which
the
is the
history
only
of the
reason you
business.
miss him. That's the only reason. That's the
Excuse
only
me.
reason. You don't
One
give
of
a
my
fuck about
favorite
him or his
matches of all
family.
times, one of
You
my
don't
favorite
care.
matches of all times will forever be
You
Chris
only
Benoit
say
versus
that
Kurt
because he
Angle at
put
No
over
Mercy
black wrestlers.
2002. If you don't get the fuck out of my face, he had greater matches with white
You
motherfuckers than he
only
had
care
with
because he put
American
over black
Negroes. What are you
wrestlers,
talking
not the
about?
tragedy that went on. Fuck out of
Okay,
here with that
so
shit.
we're gonna get ready to move on from this, but if y'all look in the Jumbotron, this is the tribute show. You could see the tribute that I gave to Chris Benoit to when I went over his entire career in a very short span. And I gave a lot of praise to him on a lot of levels, other than what he's pointing out right now. I, I highlighted that, but at the same time, I gave Chris Benoit respect on every fucking level.
Only
And
because
I
he
don't
put over
respect
black
Chris
wrestlers.
Benoit for
That's
what
it.
he's done. outside of the ring. I respect him for what he has done inside the ring. We cannot deny that Chris Benoit is one of the greatest, I mean, like top five greatest
Yes, he's the
wrestlers of
greatest.
all
He's the
times.
greatest because he put over black wrestlers, and you didn't have a chance to call him
Okay,
racist.
it's
That's
time to
the
move on
only
from that
reason.
then if you're going to continue to repeat yourself.
That's literally the only reason why, bro. And let's not even talk about your disrespect of Bray Wyatt because you think he ate himself to death and all this other bullshit.
Well, Bray Wyatt was put in a position. Let's take a look at Bray Wyatt history before he passed away. Luke Harper died, and all of a sudden he needed some time off, which I thought was weird. Chris Benoit came right to work. Um, Owen Hart, after he died, fucking British Bulldog and all them motherfuckers came to work the next day. Fucking Brian Pillman
You
died, and
realize
all the
Bray
Hart
got
Foundation was
released,
close with
right?
him. They came to work that night. That's the same night that we
You
got
you realize
Kane
he got released, right? You
who?
realize Bray got
Well,
released after taking time
can
off,
you let
right?
me finish building? I'm about to break all that down. See, what you don't know is I'm a wrestling historian and I know everything, Ronald. So let me finish.
Here, yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
He died and he needed some time off and all that other shit. Okay, whatever. You need a couple of weeks off, you get it. Okay, when he got the couple of weeks off, he came back fatter and he didn't, fucking do shit. So they let him go.
Oh my
They let
God,
him
came
go.
back fatter. Where
Okay,
do you get this shit?
excuse
Where
me.
do you get this shit,
Excuse
bro?
me.
He
They
did
let
not
him
come
go.
back
I
fatter.
got a
He did not
calendar.
come back fatter. He came back to wrestle. He came back because he lost two friends. One of them being Luke Harper, who
Who
you
was the
think was
other
going to
one?
be Bray's
Who
downfall.
was the other one?
Luke Harper. You
Who
know,
was the other one?
Mr.
You
Brody
said he lost
Lee
two of them.
over at AEW.
Who was the other one? You said he lost two of
I don't know who the other friend that he lost, but all I know is that he
them.
lost like Luke Harper, Brody Lee. And you
Okay.
said that was the start of Bray Wyatt's downfall.
It was. I mean, honestly, if you look at it, he lost his job and he lost his life. So, I mean, I think that's a hell of a start. And,
You also made fun of him because you think he ate the world and ate himself to death.
well,
And
Ronald,
then
that's
you
Twitter
also
jokes. Ronald, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
continued to
I'm sorry. You know
disrespect
what?
JoJo, his
Bearded
wife.
one, Bearded one, can you mute him really, really quick? PW. Um, for 2 seconds. This is a one-on-one conversation, but if you're available to speak, I have a quick question for you. If you could come up real quick, let me give you a mic if you're available. If you're not, just put your thumbs down and we can continue. This is a more one-on-one based conversation, but I got a quick question for you, sir, and you would help me out a lot if you could come up here. Um, Ronald, you got to stop taking what you see on Twitter.
Oh, let me guess.
Okay,
Through a blue
Ronald, just
island.
give me 1 second.
Great conversation, great points. What do you got?
Just got a question for you, and I lost contact with you on another page I had. But before then, I was following you and following your spaces, and me and you had a few conversations, correct?
Yep.
By the way, I did put one of them up on YouTube. I don't think I got your permission. By that time, I lost
Oh, that's
contact
awesome.
with you.
You have to send it to me to listen to.
Oh, most definitely. And you are from the UK, right?
I'm from Canada here.
Canada, I'm sorry. And like I
That's all
said, it's
right.
been a while. It's been a few
Close
months since
enough.
I talked to you.
Yeah, no worries. Good to reach out with you again. But yeah, if you want to ask me something about this industry, you
Well, I
got it.
just got a question between me and you. Me and you
Oh,
had a
sure.
few conversations before. I've been on your space. I don't think you've ever been harassing or racism. But first of all, welcome. Uh, and you're a Caucasian man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have I been disrespectful to you, in your opinion?
Absolutely not. And that's actually why I missed having you in the space because you brought such an incredible insight. It really showed that you were passionate for your background and that you were a real advocate for wanting fundamental Black Americans in prominent spots in WE. And, even since we had those conversations about 6, 7 months ago, nothing's changed. I mean, we're getting what we're getting with the hurt business. I think
Is it
if you
starting
really
to
want
become
that
clear to you what I was
representation,
telling you that day? That on that, if you remember that conversation, is it starting to become more clear to you what I was saying then?
absolutely. Absolutely.
I appreciate
And you
that.
even seen it with the, and I'm sorry to interrupt this mental, I can't see your name, but
Oh, they're fine. He
I
trash.
just wanted to bring that up and get your opinion actually, because when you see what they're doing with the Hurt business now in AEW, it was really clear that when they were putting that idea together, that they didn't want that representation in WE because they thought it was too close to a strong, powerful, militant esque black faction.
Well,
But
you gotta
mind you, that
understand,
was
Ronald.
still
Hold on,
under Vince McMahon at that time.
Ronald. Hold on. Time out.
That
This
is
is
true.
you can ask him something in a minute, but he did ask me something. Um, uh, Pro wrestling, you know, I'm a kind of a I'm not gonna say difficult. It's different depending on who I'm talking to, but I see things from a different view than what it appears. But when you look back at certain things, it could really be true. I don't think the I'm sorry, I don't think the AEW thought that at all because and I think that I'm looking through YouTube now to try to find our program to put it up in the jumbotron, but I did let you know at that time that Bobby Lashley was a Hispanic, and this was months ago. So I didn't look to him as what I am, which is an American Negro, um, foundational Black American, Black. Uh, I didn't never view him in that way or as a representation of me. And to go further in that, I'm not sure if you're familiar. I think at Full Gear, Bobby Lashley, they had a press conference to where Bobby Lashley had a they asked him, how do you feel about facing Swerve Strickland, who was a former black champion, and you being the former black champion and stuff? And he instantly cut her off and said, hey, I want to erase blackness. Pretty much. But
Yep,
let me get a little specific.
absolutely.
Let me get a little specific on that because there is a big misunderstanding. And I don't believe that I believe that him personally, knowing the parameters of the situation, knew what he was saying. But to ignorant people, they could view it as him just wanting to, be recognized as a human being. When it's actually deeper than that, because he's speaking from a brown man experience. Black people actually have pride within themselves, and black people are highly underrepresented in this country, and that's historical. So any little success that we get, no one could help but to highlight it as black. It's a natural thing. We're not used to seeing it. And black draws such a reaction. People think that Bobby Lashley is black. And look at the reactions that he get compared to people such as Will Ospreay and Darby Allin. It's through the roof. Same thing with Swerve Strickland and shit. And same thing with Bianca Belair. And the same thing with even the New Day, who is catching more heat than fucking Dominic Mysterio right now. Black attracts, but there are different forms of black. And
Well, in
every
my opinion, I'm just going to pause you right there because, in my opinion, when you put it in that way, what I really see, especially when you're talking about WE, is they want diversity. They want to really show themselves as this modern, diverse company. But as you say, when it comes to fundamental Black Americans, that's old hat to them. They just figured that if you under the Vince era, under the Triple H era, that's something
well, the
that they
thing
don't
is, you
want
would think
represented
that
because they don't feel that that's diversity.
leading into 2025, you got to know, like, okay, I want you to take this, and me and you have not had this conversation before. Triple H said that he doesn't see color; he only see talent, right? And Black Ninja, I see you. What's up,
Right.
brother?
Yeah, maybe nowadays he's saying that for the sound bite, but
Well, let's take a deeper look at what he's talking about. He said that he don't see color; he see talent. So let me ask you this as a wrestling fan, right? Um, when you look at the talent that's on the WWE main roster, let's not say NXT right now. Let's say uh, the New Day. Let's say our Truth. Let's say Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Carmelo Hayes, the Street Profits, which is two of them, plus B-Fab. And if I'm missing anybody, let's just use those group of people right now, because coming off the top of my head, are you telling me that they're not talented enough to be on PLEs?
Well, they justify it by, wanting the talent to step up and bring opportunities to them, to bring ideas to them. And,
No, they justify it by giving them little matches on SmackDown and Raw and think that they moving.
yeah, exactly. But a lot of those African American fundamental black performers, have
If you
so
mean
much,
foundational Black American, that'll be the proper term.
they have so much charisma, so much energy when they come out. And when I talk to like other people, like, from that background, like they're really behind Carmelo Hayes. But you don't really hear them talk about many others. And I think that is a shame because, like you said, I think it's important to have those characters that you can see yourself in, that you can show your children and become their heroes.
Yeah,
But I
my
feel
niece
with
is my
WWE,
niece is highly
especially, look
attracted.
look what's going on with this whole what background are they? Samoan. They are like entirely overrepresented right now.
Mhm.
They're completely overrepresented. But is
Yeah.
that because, they feel that their race is more talented than, black or white people? I mean, that's up to anybody's guess. But again, you're
No,
talking
well,
about,
I need you to hear me on this.
sure.
In order to say that the WWE or any uh institution, like not, I mean, we could think beyond wrestling. In order to say that they aren't racist, they will use other ethnic groups and use American Negroes, foundational Black Americans, at the very bottom, at the very least. They're going to be the last. They're going to be the first to go. The last one's hired, first one's fired. But they can't be looked at as a racist institution because they have different Asians, they have Hispanics, they have other melanated people, and they will use black people against each other, including Africans, Jamaicans, Haitian people, just to say that they have black people. America problem. The system of white supremacy, it appeared, at least in America, it appears that around global, white supremacy is a global institution. The dark world uh, is colonized damn near everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but in America specifically, where I live, where my family came, uh, built actually, and fought, bled, and died for, um, America problem is specifically against American Negroes for whatever reason. And I'm looking beyond slavery. Slavery was free and cheap labor. But at the 1865, when America so-called said we was free, that's when the trauma, the tragedy, I should say,
So basically,
started
you're
and
using
continued.
skin tone as an excuse again.
Well, if it ain't racist, if
Would,
it isn't,
wouldn't you want wouldn't you want black wrestlers to get over for their talent and not their skin
so are you
color?
telling me that the people that are named isn't talented enough to be on PLEs, Ronald? Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you, wouldn't
Yes,
you
I
rather
would
have
want
to
them to
get
get over.
over for
Yes, I
their
would want
talent
them to get
rather
over
than
for.
their skin
Yes, I
color?
would. Wait, like,
And yet you
yes.
continuously
So,
use that as an excuse.
Ronald, can I ask you a question? Do you believe that wrestling is fake?
Do I believe wrestling was fake?
Oh, by the
Predetermined?
way, by the way,
No
Ronald,
doubt.
well, by the way, for background, a little background on you. Are you in wrestling school right now?
Am I in wrestling school right now?
Yes.
Huh? Why would you need to know that? What business
You've
is it
been
of yours?
promoting. Hey, I think June,
What
July, or
business
something. You was
of
going to
yours?
wrestling school. I
What
encourage you.
business is that
Actually,
of
I even
yours?
offered you a
Like, why are you
scholarship,
so
but you turned it
interested?
down.
Like,
But
why are you so interested now?
what you talking to an audience, Ronald? People want to know you.
But why are you so interested now to bring it up again?
You're
And why are
talking
you
to a.
deflecting from my question again?
What's your question, Ronald?
I
We
just
could take
asked
that
the
as a
question
no.
and you didn't answer.
We could take that as a no, y'all.
No,
Um,
no, no. Answer the question now.
what's your question?
Answer. I just asked the question not too long ago and you didn't answer. You deflected like
Chad,
constantly over and over again.
Chad,
I
Chad.
asked you, I
Thank you. Chad, that's against the rule. Um, I don't remember his question. And instead of telling me that, you, instead of pushing it down my throat, I asked you, just repeat the
because
question.
I was getting to it and you
Right,
talked over.
right. So ask your question again.
I asked you, would you rather have them get over and achieve success through their talent and not use their skin color as an excuse, which you have done over and over again?
Yes, I would prefer that. I would prefer
And
that
for and to
100%.
do this
So,
and going to the Bobby Lashley thing. Going
well,
to the
hold on,
Bobby
wait a minute,
Lashley
because I
thing.
don't want to skip this. This is why I was telling you. I was expanding on your question. Um, you do recognize that wrestling is fake, right?
No duh.
You do recognize that wrestling is a fake, scripted sport, right?
And you get pissed over it.
Can you recognize that American Negroes are the most entertaining, athletic, and charismatic people in the world?
Does that make them better than
Yes
everyone
or
else?
no, Ronald?
Does it make them better?
Ronald, if you don't believe they are, just say it.
I believe they are. But let me ask
Okay,
you,
so now
do,
let me ask you
do
this.
you
Let me ask you this. Hold on, wait a
does
minute,
that
because
does that make them
this
better
is
than
all one
everyone
question.
else?
Ronald, yes, it does. It makes us spectacular,
Ah,
actually.
so you
Yes,
want wrestling to
we're
be all black.
exceptional people. Yes, actually, yes, we are.
So you want
So with that being
WWE.
said, Ronald, you recognize, and this
So
is
you
what
want
you said, Ronald.
WWE to be all black, just like you want AE.
I didn't say that. Listen, Ronald, what do you
You
recognize?
didn't have to.
Ronald, what do you
You didn't
recognize?
have to.
Go ahead, finish.
Like I said, you want WWE to be world black entertainment, just like you want AEW to be all black entertainment. I know it from every time you speak and tweet, bro. It's not hard to see. It isn't. You've done it time and time
Ronald,
again.
if it was based off of talent, then yes, you damn right, it would be all black. That's natural. That's nature. You just
So how are you
recognize
no
that American
different than the
Negroes,
racists
you
then?
just recognize that American Negroes specifically are an exceptional people, and we are the most talented, entertaining, charismatic people in the world. Um, why can't we be presented as such in a fake scripted sport? I mean, in basketball, we beat their ass.
What
In
makes you think they're
football, we
not
beat their
presented?
ass. In golf, we beat their ass. In tennis, we beat their ass. In baseball, we beat their ass. And if hockey and lacrosse and rugby was available to us in schools coming up, I mean, did you have those things in your school,
You
Ronald?
have that mindset again at that,
Yes or
just like
no?
just
Yes
like
or
the
no,
racists,
Ronald?
bro. You
Yes or
have that
no?
mindset just like the racists that you think you're better than everyone, and that is disturbing. That is disturbing. You're thinking exactly like the
Ronald,
racists,
I'm
bro.
just strictly speaking of physicality. I
You're
didn't
thinking just like the racists, just like them. You have become them.
I have become them. I have
Yes, you
never hung
have.
a white child. I've never burned one or skinned one. I never even thought about doing it.
And you think it only takes killing to be racist,
But
bro.
that's what they do.
It takes a lot more than just
It takes a
killing or
hell of a lot
saying
more. It
nigger
takes a
or
lot of
saying
power or
cracker
some shit, right? Yeah.
or saying yellow
Yeah.
to be
Them are the
racist.
people
It
that
takes
just
a
that
lot
shit
more
go
than
over
that.
my head. They could call me a
It
nigger
takes
as
the
much as they
hell of
want
a
to. I
lot
don't
more
give a
than
shit
that.
about words. We talking about action, Ronald. So you're in
It takes a
Baltimore,
lot
right?
more than just words and actions. It takes a hell of a lot more than any of that to be racist, but you don't acknowledge it. You'll never acknowledge it. That's your problem. You're too narcissistic to admit it.
Ronald, you're in
I don't
Baltimore, right?
like talking like this. I don't like dealing with bullshit like this. I don't like dealing with fellow black people who got this mindset just like the racists. I don't like those that constantly complain about, woe is me because I'm black bullshit. Instead of complaining, why don't you actually get off your ass and try to better your life and better yourself instead of living in the past?
Chris, you in this shit? Oh, Chris, you in this shit? My coworker here, boy, we get up on fire ass every single day. Hey, say, check this
Who?
out. So, listen, you live in Baltimore, right? I know. You live in Baltimore, Ronald, right? Rich. I mean, honestly, like this nigga just what? Oh my god, my feet hurt right now. Ronald, you live in Baltimore, right?
You should know. You stalk my
You're
pictures.
talking to an audience, Ronald. Do you live in Baltimore or not?
You should know.
Okay, yes. So you live in Baltimore. What do you do for a living, Ronald?
Why is that an issue?
Where the audience want to get to know
Why
you.
is that an issue?
The audience want to get to know you.
Why is
Now,
that
if
an
you
issue?
want me to say what you do for a living, then I did. I will. I think it'll be better coming from you.
Since because you want to know so bad, like a crack fiend wanting crack, I work at the stadium, M&T Bank Stadium.
What do you do at the MIT Bank Stadium, Ronald?
M-A-N-T, get it right.
Excuse me. I'm
For
sorry.
the I work for Baltimore Ravens when they had their games there. I am on the club level, and I scan tickets like I've done for like the past 7 years since I've been there.
So you typically work 1 day a week for how many weeks?
Depending on if it's a Monday, Thursday, or Sunday game, or whatever day it comes on.
They must pro play. I mean, I'm sorry. They must pay pretty well.
Yes.
Um,
But mind you, what does this have to do with anything now?
well, Ronald, you called me a stalker. So,
That you are, because you use pictures of my nieces, and along with my grandmother and my father, who you think you're going to interview, but you don't have the balls to do.
by the way, y'all, if y'all listen to PeckerTom Ron, you would not believe that his father is a, a black
Just like
American.
he also assumed that
He's
my
an
father is not a
American.
black
He's
American.
he's an American Negro. I believe it. He's an American Negro business owner. He got Shareef's Grill, which has
You
three
said he was
locations.
Middle Eastern.
I thought he was. I was looking at his hair. I'm a delineator. You got to
Then
excuse me.
why you flip flop?
Ronald, because it happens sometimes. Damn, I just found out
Nah,
that
nah, you gotta
Maxwell.
stay on one
I
side,
just
buddy. You
know
gotta stay
I
on one
don't.
side at least.
All
You gotta
right.
stay on one side,
Everybody
brother.
think they can eyeball an ounce, and then sometimes you could be a gram or two under over. Who knows?
Stay on that side. Stay on that side.
Well, your father's a Middle Eastern, then. All right, if that's what you want me to
There you
say.
go. See, stay on this side. You see how honest you are. You see how honesty
At the
actually
very
does.
least, can you mute him if he gonna continue to? If at the very least he's a Muslim, I know that, and he's an American Negro, and he owns and operates Sharif's Grill, which is that serves Middle Eastern food, but it has an American Negro twist. If y'all ever go to Baltimore, the food looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? It does. And Ronald, is that why you um
Is that why I didn't choose to go there? That's what you're going with, right?
no, is that why
So
you choose to work one
I've
day a
told you
week?
this.
Do you
I've told
does
you this
that
many
excuse
times.
me,
I've
Ronald,
told you this many
is that
times. It's
Ronald,
not
can I
for
finish my
me.
question? Can I finish
It's
my
not for
question?
me.
Can I finish my question?
I told you it's not for me. I know
That's
what
not
you're
my
gonna ask.
question. That's not my question. My
I
is
know what
it
you're gonna ask.
my question is the reason why you only work 1 day a week is because your father affords you the ability to not have to work for a
And this
living.
is what I see. I knew you was gonna ask that. I've been knew this.
Do your father
I've
afford you the
been.
ability to not have to work for a living?
I choose to work at M&T Bank Stadium
Like
because
what
I
they
love
say
it.
niggers don't do.
See, this is he talks about civil conversation. This is not a civil conversation.
Oh, it's civil. I'm being as civil
Nah,
as
this
I
is
could be.
far from civil. I knew it wasn't going to be civil.
Ronald, you
From the
can't
minute,
take the
from the
word.
minute, from the very
Do
minute
you
I
have a
saw the
problem with
title, I
do you
knew
have
this
a
was not going
problem
to be a civil
do you have a
conversation.
problem with the word nigger?
Do I have a problem with the word nigger?
Yes.
Have I before? Have I
Oh
been
no.
called it twice, as I mentioned? Yes.
Mm. That's the racism that you're talking about you experienced, right? Words.
Hmm.
Okay, gotcha. So
But do I let that obsess over me and cloud me like
So,
you?
Ronald,
No, I
now
don't.
you accuse me of being a stalker, and
Yeah,
whatever.
you saw pictures of my nieces.
Okay, so Ronald, I got a couple of questions for you.
Oh, and other family members, by the way.
Right, so I'm gonna put some stuff up in the jumbotron. I need y'all to bear with me for
Yes,
1 second.
because you like getting shit out there. You like to expose everybody. You have a fetish for digging in people's backgrounds. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, this is interesting. Ronald, go ahead on and keep calling me racist while I put this stuff up real quick.
I don't have to. I already know you are. And so does everyone else that's smart enough to know.
Chris, am I racist? I don't, I see him more than I see my family. We work a lot. Like we work a lot. And so, I don't know where you get that niggers are lazy. Ain't that what you just said?
Oh, so you think so you're putting words in my mouth now.
Well, elaborate. Also, while I'm looking for this, can you elaborate? Because the people want to know. You accuse black people of being racist. Um, can you?
Is it not true that anyone and everyone can be racist, Rio?
I don't believe so, but can
I,
you?
I I know. Yes or no?
No, it's not.
Oh, see, now that's a lie, man. You lied again.
Okay, so can
Everyone
you?
knows that. Everyone knows that anyone and everyone can be racist, especially black people, man. You should know this by now. Y'all being intelligent FBAs, y'all should know this.
Mm,
And you just said foundational black American, and yet some time ago you act like you didn't know what it was. Like, which is it, bro?
I didn't know what a foundational Black American was.
You just said
You want to elaborate?
you just said it, bro. When you were talk
Well, Ronald, I'm
when
not.
you were talking to pro wrestling here, when you were talking to pro wrestling reality, you literally said it. And now, but when months ago you didn't you act like to pretend you didn't know what it was.
When did I pretend to not know what a foundational Black American was, Ronald?
When we spoke in that last space. But what do you want me to elaborate on? Please do tell me.
No, no, no.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no,
glad
no.
that you
What
brought
did you
that
say you
up.
want me to
No, I'm
elaborate
glad.
on?
Ronald, I'm glad that you brought that up because we got the Negro know what I'm talking about. We don't believe that you know what a foundational Black American is. So, with
Okay,
that being
with that
said,
being said,
Ronald,
then
what is a foundational
if
Black
you
American?
with that being said, why don't you tell me then? Since you know. No,
It's pretty
no, no,
much an
come
American
on. You're
Negro.
supposed to know everything.
Excuse
You're
me.
supposed to know everything,
It's an
right?
American.
Come on. Tell me.
It's an American. It's an American Negro whose lineage is here in America preceding slavery.
Wow, I feel so educated. It's so riveting now.
Is this something that you just found out
I,
today, Ronald?
nope.
Okay, so are you a foundational Black American?
I literally told you I was born here in America, so yes.
What did I just say? What is the description of the definition of a foundational Black
Oh my
American?
God, we're going back and forth with this.
Okay, you know what? It's a lot to look at and talk to you at the same time. I think I've got the gist of some of the stuff. So I want y'all to look at the jumbotron real quick. If I got it up there, hold on 1 second. Uh, da, 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 da. So that was the last one, but we're gonna go to the first few. All right, so y'all go to the jumbotron real quick. Mind you, he's a person in Baltimore that works 1 day a week at a football stadium.